What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about why anxiety makes us feel like we are dying. I struggled with this so freaking much. All right, so if you're watching this, you're not alone. All right, and it didn't help that I had panic disorder, which is terrifying by itself, but I also had health anxiety. So we got panic attacks and we have health anxiety, right? So I had issues with acceptance. I thought my symptoms were diseases, cancers, medical issues. I thought my panic attacks were heart attacks, right? So I'm gonna talk about two primary reasons why I think anxiety makes us feel like we are about to die. And I'll start with this. Really aggressive anxiety where you're flirting with fight or flight, right? Which in some ways can be more torturous than just having a panic attack and getting it out of your system, unless you were like me and had 3 to 5 panic attacks anyways, daily. But for some of you, getting that one panic attack out of the way can just allow you to kind of crash, sleep, and reboot, right? But you're flirting with fight or flight all day. You have some pretty severe symptoms, your mind's all over the place. Then we have anxiety attacks, right? Another aggressive form of anxiety where it kind of builds over hours or days and it can last up to a couple days and it kind of fades. So it's more aggressive than just your garden variety anxiety. It's a lot more intense. Your symptoms are more maximized and it kind of fades, right? Then we have panic attacks, right? That's like slamming your foot on the gas, full throttle, right? Adrenaline rush, all these symptoms that come with it. In that moment, your body and mind is acting like there is something horrible about to happen to you. And you have to get out of here now, or you have to fight right now, right? That's why they call it fight or flight mode. We are trying to survive. We are not meant to sit down and to think about it. Should I leave? Should I fight? Wait a second. Maybe I should just calm down. Maybe I should just relax. Maybe I should just take a deep breath. No. Shortness of breath, rapid shallow breathing, chest pain, muscle tension, racing irrational thoughts. Things going a million miles an hour up here. This is why it just bugs me whenever I heard this and whenever a lot of other people are being told to relax, to calm down, to chill out, to take a deep breath. The crap don't work. If it did, nobody would struggle with panic, right? Or pretty much anxiety in general. The stuff don't work. So for me, when I had panic attacks, just quickly getting off subject, I would have to turn to aggressive approaches. Like I had to go run or exercise once I finally got over the fear of doing that, right? Because I had heart anxiety. Or I had to jump into a cold shower. That helped me get rid of my panic pretty quickly, right? So instead of me having 15-minute panic attacks to like 2 or 3 hour panic attacks, now I'm having like, 2 to 3 minute panic attacks, which is a lot better. I feel a lot better throughout my day after I can get it out of my system. So exercise and cold water were very aggressive go-tos for me and it helped me a lot, right? So we have all these symptoms happening all at once. We have all these racing thoughts. We're not meant to be rational. We are in fight or flight. Our body and mind is trying to get away from, let's say, a tiger, okay? So think about this. You're at the zoo, right? And you're rounding this corner. We got the trees on both sides. We got this nice stone kind of sidewalk. And you kind of come across a tiger and it's right there in the walkway. And you stop and you're like, wait a second, this isn't normal. You're a little confused, right? Kind of like in shock for a second. You kind of freeze up like, what? And then the tiger turns and looks at you and you're like, oh my God, this is really happening. There's a tiger right here in the walkway. It's not in the cage where it's supposed to be, right? So you're kind of still. You don't really know what to do. You don't know if you should start backing up, but the tiger starts to approach and you're like, okay. I got to get out of here. And immediately, your body and mind do you a favor, right? Even though it's pretty much impossible to get out of a tiger attack alive. Your body and mind is trying to do you a favor in that situation. Now you've indicated like, okay, this is bad. This is dangerous. Something's going on. We got to get out of here. I could die right here. So your subconscious responds, the body responds, bam, adrenaline, tightness, chest pain, shortness of breath. Your heart is beating so fast because guess what? It's trying to get blood and oxygen to the rest of your body so you can effectively fight or run away, in a better way, right? That's why if there was a tiger coming at you, you're not going to just be sitting here like, should I run? Let me take a deep breath and just really think about this. Now let me calm down. No. You're like, holy crap, oh my God, all these thoughts like I'm about to be eaten. Oh my God, I'm about to die. I can't believe I'm about to die from a tiger. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run. Where do I go? Which way do I go? If that tiger gets on me, am I gonna punch it in the face? Am I gonna eye gouge you? What do I do? That's what's going on up here. And your body is also having all these crazy symptoms, physical symptoms. But here's the thing, it's almost justified that you're having these symptoms and having these thoughts, because guess what? There's a tiger right in front of you. These thoughts and these symptoms, they're purposeful. They have purpose, they have meaning. And I think this is why we get confused when there's not a tiger in front of us and we have the same response, the stress response. They don't feel justified. This also doesn't help our case when we try to get sympathy and support from people that don't have panic disorder, right? Because they're looking at it the same way, like there's nothing dangerous happening to you. There's not a shooter, there's not a tiger, you're not being attacked. Why are you freaking out like this? Like, settle down, bro. So we get a lot of, kind of mean and sometimes cruel responses when we express that we're anxious, we're having panic attacks. I feel like I'm dying, right? And then people think that we're faking it or being dramatic, doing it for attention. But even in the beginning, we're questioning what's going on. These symptoms aren't, and was a struggle for me. So this is how it can make you feel like you're dying. It's like, I'm in the car. I'm at the supermarket. Who says supermarket anymore? Grocery store. I'm pumping gas. I'm watching a movie. I'm eating dinner. There's not a tiger. There's not a shooter. There's not a life and death situation. So why do I feel this way? Mess with my acceptance. All I know is that I'm having numbness, tingling, chest pain, headaches. I think I'm having a heart attack. And of course, it doesn't help when you Google all this stuff. And then that really messed with my acceptance. It's justified if somebody's coming after me. I know there's some of you that are watching this that's been in these life and death situations. Were you more worried about getting away or fighting, or were you worried about the symptoms and the racing thoughts that you're having? You're probably worried about surviving. Okay, so you take away that tiger, that shooter, and you have the same symptoms. You're worried about what? The thoughts and the symptoms, right? We take away the obvious danger. Now we're like, oh my God, like what am I feeling? So you can see how we become extremely symptom focused with this. So that's the first way that anxiety can make you feel like you're dying. You have the impending doom. You have all these symptoms that a lot of us associate with it being a heart problem, a heart issue. Hell, sometimes just the impending doom can make me feel like I'm about to die, right? I've been there a lot of times. So aggressive anxiety, where you're flirting with fight or flight, you get into more of the survival mode with the anxiety tag, a little bit more gradual. And then, of course, panic attacks, where you're just slamming your foot on the gas. So that's the first way. The second thing is maybe you're not having panic attacks all the time. Maybe you've gotten past that like I did. Like I got past my panic disorder pretty much, and I got past heart anxiety. Which I'll just be honest, things got a lot better when I was having less panic attacks and I wasn't worried about my heart. But I still had health anxiety, and this is primarily for my health anxiety folks. You're having symptoms pretty much constantly. You're having symptoms even when you're not anxious. It may not be panic mode, but you're just having symptoms all the time, and it's still just so hard for you to wrap your mind around the fact that anxiety can cause these symptoms. And I definitely can relate. I made a video yesterday about the fear of cancer. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I started going through these phases where I thought I had different cancers. So I thought I had a disease that was killing me. Maybe slower than a heart attack, but that's what I felt. I had issues with acceptance still. I had issues with Googling still. So that fed into this, it fueled the freaking fire. So I would go to the doctor, I'd get tests all the time, blood work, I'd try to get CAT scans if I could. I was denied a lot of tests actually. But blood work was very common, checkups were very common for me, a few more ER visits, even past whenever I got past my heart anxiety. So I was still going all the time, trying to get that reassurance. And they would tell me, Trey, you're fine, you're healthy. But guess what? I don't feel fine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel fine. I think you're missing something here, So I was in that kind of vicious cycle for another 2.5 years. So just having symptoms all the time, having symptoms that come out of nowhere whenever you don't feel like you should have symptoms, right? You don't even feel anxious. They're just chronic. They're just going. And that's because you've had anxiety probably for a significant amount of time. You've become so symptom focused that it's basically, the symptoms are like a habit of your subconscious. Your subconscious just has a habit of being scared all the time, and you've confirmed it, right? So now the symptoms are on autopilot. So just having more chronic symptoms, having changing symptoms, long-term symptoms, there's a lot of different ways of wording it. Having symptoms when you don't necessarily feel anxious, that can mess with your acceptance and make you feel like anxiety is some form of a disease, right? So if you watched it this far, go down below and in all caps, let's have a powerful affirmation today. Put in all caps down below in the comment section, anxiety is in trouble. Anxiety is in trouble, right? You're not in trouble. Anxiety is in trouble because you're about to kick it in the butt, all right? So keep applying the tips that I give you in these videos. Today was more of a relation, kind of awareness, right? Anxiety awareness type video. If you want a plan, if you're ready to work, if you're serious about recovery, 100%, then my course would be great for you, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I'm gonna put it down below in the description and in the first pinned comments, helping a lot of people. Don't miss out on that, super affordable, and you get lifetime access, right? So it's just a one-time thing. All right, also, online therapy. If you never tried therapy, perfect opportunity to do that. I'm gonna put the link down there. Coaching, my coaching info is down there as well. I do one-on-one calls to help people with their anxiety disorder, health anxiety, panic attacks. So if you want that information, just shoot me an email. I'll send that over. All my socials are there, guys. Remember to subscribe if you're new. Like this video if you got some value, helps me out a lot. And until next time, guys, keep fighting. I love you all.